Hello and welcome back to Buckle Up. I'm Harry King and this is the brand new Fiat 600. It's a replacement for their 500X crossover, but now with good styling. Let's talk about styling, because the Fiat 600 has it in spades. Look at these lights, look at this colour. They only do 4 colours on this car, and Fiat claim that all of them are interesting, but I claim that one of them is grey. You've got this kind of nice body coloured grille down here, big 600 badge. There's a lot of 600 badges actually around this car. These cutesy lights tie in with the 500. You've got these kind of eyelids as well in body colour. You've got kind of indicators that almost look like what the fog light should be, but the real fog lights are down here. And then going down the side, we get some more of the aforementioned 600 badges. So we have them here in the side of the lights, here on the wheel caps, lovely alloy wheels by the way. We have one down here in the plastic, another one on the wheel cap, and then round here at the back we get some bejeweled rear light cluster bits. These are actually just reflective and it's all styling. Fiat badge, another 600 down here in the bumper in case you missed it. And then if I open up the electronic tailgate with a lovely Microsoft XP bleep as if I've got sticky keys on, there's actually another 600 up here in the boot lid. Inside we find an okay sized boot. It's got a false floor, and hidden under that false floor is another false floor, and then in there is a wheel well with no spare tyre in it. You do get a tyre repair kit, but lots of extra storage down there if you would like it. Obviously you can move this about to get a bit of extra room in the boot if you need it, but when it's raised up here and I drop the seats, you get a sort of continuous load space. So all of the practicalities we'd expect from a small crossover. How are the seats though? Now I'll start with the positives back here. These seats are lovely. There's this really nice white interior, leatherette material. You've got a USB-C here, and you've got big seat back pockets. What you don't have is any space at all. I actually can't close this door because I can't get my feet in under this seat that's in my driving position. I am only 180 centimetres tall, that's 5'11". And yeah, definitely no space in the back for anyone with feet, I don't think. So consider that if you're looking at buying this car. I'm going to move to the front now if I can extract myself from this, and we'll see what it's like up there. So fortunately up here you do still get these lovely seats. This one's actually massaging and electric. Passenger has to do with a manual one. And you also get the finish here on the doors. That is sort of the end of the premium materials in here. This dash is very, very plasticky. All of this is very hard, very scratchy plastic. The steering wheel is fairly pleasant, but there's not much give in it. It's just got a nice finish. I'm not sure how I feel about that, because this starts from about £24,000 and goes up to, well, if you go to the electric, well over 30. There are lots of cars available with much nicer interiors in that price bracket. Some of them are considerably larger as well. Does it make up for it on the technology? So I've got the kind of usual Stellantis screen here. Let's see how fast I can make the sat-nav work. Where's the search button? Oh, it's just searching by itself. Lovely. Come on. Come on. Go. Drive. Why have I had to press 4 buttons to say drive? Calculating. Okay, so it's fine, but it's not brilliant. The rest of the screen, there are some other irritations. So the climate controls, some of them are here in this row of buttons, and that's good. I can do the temperature, I can do the fan speed, I can do my defrosters. All of that stuff is quick to access, and that's good. Heated seats, I have to go into the climate shortcut menu, then to seat options, then I have to turn them on with a button, and then I have to select the level of them with a different button. But if I cycle that button around, it does still turn them off, and it doesn't turn them back on, which feels like slightly useless functionality. So again, there are kind of like these small problems where it just means that while it's not bad, it's not kind of good either. It's not standing out, it's not doing anything particularly slickly. I do have some practicality in here. I've got a nice big center console storage area with a wireless charger in it and my USB C, USB-A and 12-volt sockets are in there. I've got another cubby here with removable dividers, so you can set it up for the size of beverage you're drinking, but there's space there for your bottles or your flasks or whatever, and you can lift this up as well to access some more storage there. You do have a glove box, but it's only half the size it should be because the fuse box is there on UK cars. They don't bother moving it when it's right-hand drive. And I've got some door pockets with a cutout for a bottle holder as well, and they're actually pretty good size. But all in all, my concern is everything in here is kind of design flair. So you've got Fiat and 600 written on the seats. You've got Fiat put up here on the dashboard, 600 on the steering wheel. It all looks lovely, but I'm concerned that the basis of it isn't going to hold up. So let's find out by taking it for a drive. Let's start with some of the important figures. This is a hybrid 6-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. It has 100 horsepower. There's a version available with around 130 horsepower, or there's an electric version. None of them are particularly fast, but this is the slowest. The upside is it will get around 50 mpg, and I'm going to assume that that's the metric you care about, because otherwise it's underwhelming. But actually, that's decent fuel economy. I've got to give it to Fiat there. That's good. And if you do a lot of motorway driving, this does have the full range of automatic cruise control. It'll steer in the lane for you. It goes on and off very easily. It's not too much faffing, and it is quite good at following the lines. So in terms of being a good motorway car, it's actually pretty good. And the electric assistance with the petrol engine means at town speeds, it still feels pleasantly nippy, even though on the top end, it's not actually that quick. The place that it doesn't feel nippy is the gear changes when it's left to its own devices. So even though this is a 6-speed dual clutch, it feels like an old-fashioned torque converter auto. And if you put your foot down, it kind of takes some time to decide what it's doing, how it's going. However, if I start using the paddles, boom, change down, boom, change down, put my foot down, go. You know, I don't know why when it's left to its own devices it's so lazy when it's capable of doing that. But never mind. Never mind. Ride and comfort. The seat's very comfortable. It's massaging, which again is very nice on a longer journey. There is kind of an odd setup with this chassis damping suspension where it sort of fidgets along a road surface. You can feel little undulations and stuff, but it doesn't seem to roll that much in the corners, and it doesn't have particularly forgiving suspension over crashy surfaces. So it's somehow both fidgety and juddery. Those are scientific terms, if you're wondering. The steering is very, very light, I imagine, to make it like a Fiat 500. There's a little bit of feel in it, but not huge amounts. But it is quite a quick rack for the amount of feel that there is there. And that, combined with the slightly odd suspension feel, makes me feel uncertain in fast cornering sometimes. Around town, absolutely fine. On a motorway, perfectly comfortable. Over a broken B road surface is where you kind of feel the drawbacks of the car setup. And I think the problem is, for me, I'm giving this car quite a hard ride. There's two reasons for that. I'll tell them to you now. Number one, this is my second attempt at this loan. The first car turned up and broke down quite promptly, which probably has coloured my perception of the car, and I think it was a one-off incident, but Stellantis do not have the best record for electrical reliability, which is what the issue was. And number two, I just can't see where this car is vastly improving over something like a Kia Stonic or a Dacia Duster, which are much cheaper. The Stonic is much more fun to drive. And I'm wondering where that extra £4,000 to £6,000 is going. Because it's a pretty car. A lot of people have said how good it looks, and I do really, really like the way it looks, and I like the way the interior looks, not the way it feels, but I do like the way the interior looks. And the seats are nice, but it just kind of drives like an car. There's nothing exciting going on. Fiats used to have a bit of fire in them, literally in some cases. But, you know, they had a soul and passion and all those other Italian car cliches. And this just kind of feels like a crossover with some nice styling. And I want it to be a bit more special, which is maybe why I'm being so harsh. I think, though, we should go back and do a conclusion. So, what do I think about the Fiat 600? Well, first things first, the styling is absolutely lovely. I think the way this looks is fantastic. Some of the core of the car is underwhelming, but if you want a small, stylish crossover, there's no big red flags here, and I think you should definitely check this out. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. You'll find all the links to all of our social medias down in the description. You'll also find 2 ways that you can support the channel. We've got channel merchandise, and we also have memberships right here on YouTube. So like, comment, subscribe, ding the bell, memberships, do it now. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.